Alright, so one minute wisdom from the Rebbe for today. So in today's Torah reading, we spoke about the idea that Yaakov Avinu told Yosef to go check out your brothers, how they're doing in Shechem, and come report back home. So Yosef went out to be able to start his journey to find his brothers. On the way, Malach Gabriel comes to him, and as Rashi tells us, Malach Gabriel tells Yosef that they're actually planning to kill you when you go out there. Now the Ramban says, how could it be that Yosef would continue going if Gabriel actually told him they were going to kill him? It must be that he didn't actually tell him they were going to kill him, he just said words which could imply either way. Now, it's not understood according to the Ramban, and even according to Rashi. Seemingly, what's going on over here? If Yosef knew that he was going to be killed by his brothers, what would be the point? He wouldn't even be able to fulfill that which his father asked him, as his father asked him to come report back home. If he was killed, what would be the point? What would he accomplish with that? So the explanation is that there's something called a shas hashmad. When there's a time when the generation is being certainly in a certain way, totally ignoring a certain mitzvah, you have to give up your life. And even if you yourself are going to give up your life, and you will not be able to celebrate that mitzvah, but if the rest of the generation will see it, they'll be able to learn from you. And that's what Yosef is doing here as well. The brothers weren't very good at honoring their father. As happened by the story of Shimon and Levi, with Shechem, as well as Reuven, there's many stories where the brothers weren't listening to their father properly. So Yosef said, even if I'm going to die right now, at least I'll be able to teach my brothers a lesson that they need to respect our father. And that's also what we find in the story of Chanuka. As we know, the Parshas Vayeishev blesses Chanuka this year. In the story of Chanuka, we find that Chashmonaim went out to war against the Greeks. Now, seemingly it's not understood. I understand that they have to go on Mesiras Nefesh because there was a Shas Hashmad. That means if someone comes to you and says, die or do this Avera, you have to give up your life. But why do they go out to war? Especially in a time where they would have to be the minority against the majority. And they were the weaker ones against the stronger ones. Where were they going to fight to go out to harm yourself? That doesn't make sense logically. But they learned from Yosef. Just like Yosef went, even though it didn't make sense and he was going to die. In order to be able to teach a lesson, they too went out all the way without logic and fought for Hashem's war. So to us, we need to go all the way to fight Hashem's battles, even if it's not necessarily logical. L'chaim, l'chaim.